Okay, so today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 tips on how I have just recently organized my entire house, except for one area, which is my desk, which I'm going to actually show you how I did it. Like at the end, I'll go through everything and I'll show you the bins I picked out, the labeling, everything. So just recently, my husband built me this closet that has changed my life. We have like this old house. It's built in the 60s and we have 5 children and there's not a lot of storage. There's a lot of good living space, but storage is like, there's hardly any. And so he built me this closet and it's beautiful and it changed everything and I've labeled everything. So right after Christmas, I took a whole week off and I organized almost my entire house, especially my basement, like the kids area, all their stuff. But it's awesome because everything, I know where everything is in my house now, whereas before I didn't. And so I'm just gonna kind of share with you the tips of what helped me to get my life in order, to be organized. Life has been so much better now that I've done this. And so I wanna share that with you. Okay, so the first tip that I have is to have a plan. So get out a paper, notebook, and pencil and just like, start writing what areas do you want to organize in your house. Is it your kids' space? Is it the playroom? Is it a bathroom, a closet? And just like you can jot down all of them and just find a time for each one. It doesn't have to be all of them at once. If that's overwhelming to you, I just encourage you to just do one closet at a time, one room at a time, one dresser drawer at a time, and slowly do it that way. You can do a whole week and be like, this week I have nothing else, I'm gonna organize or whatever. Maybe it's spring break for the kids, but I encourage you to like find a time, write down the plan and what you need. So do you need more hangers for the kids? Do you want to hang up all their clothes? Do you need bins? Like what is it that's gonna work for you? That's the first thing, is have a plan of what you want to do. Okay, the second thing is to remove everything from that area, and that might seem a little overwhelming. So for me, I did the kids, like, you know, their playroom area, and I just did one toy box at a time. I took everything out. I had a show going off, you know, on the side because there's a TV, and I just like watch some show that you didn't really need to pay attention to. And so I was kind of like listening to that. You can always do a podcast too. And just kind of like weeded through the toys the kids don't play anymore. Thomas and Jacob and Zachary don't really play in the play area anymore. Mainly it's the girls. So I took a lot of the boy stuff out. They don't really play with Legos anymore, like the Duplos. And so I got rid of most of them, not all of them. I have a bin that I put all of the Legos in so that, you know, when we have kids come over and they want to play, there's still plenty to play with. I also encourage you that when you are kind of decluttering, to have a trash bag and then also get rid of piles. So if there's toys that are still good but you just don't, your kids don't play with them anymore, or maybe they make a lot of noise and you're like, I just don't want this in my house, put it in that. I recommend having a black trash bag, otherwise your kids might see them and be like, why are you getting rid of this, Mom? So anyway, I would just recommend having a black trash bag for getting rid of pile or a big box. And then I got rid of a whole van full of things. Like that's how decluttered I went. I went all out. So when you put things back, have all the things that you need, like that are used regularly, right there, easy to play with or use. Because like I said, like we still play with Legos once in a while, like the Duplos. So I didn't get rid of them all, but they're not in the main play area anymore. The Legos are now off into a closet that, you know, is labeled and we know where it is. So when the kids are, you know, it's a rainy day and they want to play Legos, I will get that Lego bin out and put it there. So that's one thing. Make sure that all the things that you are going to use regularly, have it available. Okay, so the next thing is containers. I would say to have containers, make sure that they fit in the spot that you want them to be. I always take this and I measure out what exactly the space that I'm looking for, and I'll bring this to the store and I will measure out bins. Is it high enough? Is it long enough? Whatever it is. And so measure it out what it is that you want to place in that area. And then I like a lot of the ones from Home Goods, and they have them at TJ Maxx and Marshalls too, but that's where I found almost all my bins. This is not sponsored. I love finding them there. You do kind of have to like search pretty hard for them, but it's kind of fun. I don't know, I like it. But I like went through and I just measured a bunch of them. They have like a Lazy Susan that you can have for your oils and stuff, which I love. They had these spacers that I kept putting my pans inside of each other, and it was hard to get the pans from the bottom. So I found these spacers at HomeGoods as well, where you can put all the pans up and down instead of on top of each other. And that has been a huge game changer. I love it. It's so much more organized. It's easy to grab a pan. So I got that from HomeGoods too. So those are from HomeGoods. And then I got all these bins from HomeGoods as well. So so that's a good place to get it. I know they have like container stores, and I'm sure like Walmart and stuff have them. In fact, I got some bigger bins from Walmart and I measured those out, and I found a space for all of the bigger things in our basement, and it's been great. And I actually don't use any of the covers. I leave everything without the cover, because if I'm putting a toy or something away, it's so easy just to plop it in. I don't need a cover. And so that's just me personally. I don't like having covers on things, because I can just easily put things where they belong in their category. So that's the next thing, is make sure you have the containers. And I actually really like all my containers to be similar. If they're on the same level, I really like them to be the same. It just visually looks so much better when you have containers the same. And so like this one, I got 3 of them came together. And so I have 3 of these containers, and I have several of these the same size. Okay, so the next thing is to have a space for every single thing. So I used to have where I had 5, 6, 7 scissors, and there were 5 different places that those scissors could possibly be. And now I have one spot where all my scissors go, and I realized how many scissors I have because of it. But now there's one spot. So same with like everything, you know, where are the toothpicks, where are the little things that you don't think about. There's a spot for every single thing now. Now I will say I have 2 spots for my medicine. So I have medicine down here if the kids get scratches or something, and also like, you know, if they need medication. And I do have it upstairs as well, but I know exactly where they are, and they both have the same amount of things. So it's not like I need to run upstairs to get something. So you might need a couple spaces, but I encourage you, if you can, put everything in one spot. I love having this little container too, because all the little knick-knacky things are in one spot as well, which I love that. And if the space that you have dedicated for that thing, if there is not enough space, then get rid of some stuff. So I realized we had way too many towels, and so if you have too many towels, get rid of some. We don't need 20 towels. There's only 7 of us. So, you know, things like that. If the bin is full, or if that spot is full, then declutter. Get rid of things. If there's things stained, if you don't like them anymore, all the things. I can't tell you how amazing it is to get rid of things that you don't use. And there's a lot of things that I've bought which I never use, but I'm like, oh, I spent money on that. I should, you know, I don't want to get rid of it. Just get rid of it, you know, and say this will bless somebody else, and just leave it at that. I did that so much this winter, and I just realized too, like, I just need to be much more careful on things I buy. I don't need to buy all these things, just what we need, and that's it. And so, and it's been really good for that too, because now I know, I'm like, oh, I don't have a space for this. Even if I did want to buy it, there's nowhere to put it. And so that helps me too. If it is something that I'm like, I do want to get this, but I have no space, then I know when I go home, I have to get rid of something else, because there's no space. So that is a huge game changer for me. So make sure that every single thing in your house, whether it's a paper clip, safety pin, has a space in your house, and it's in one spot, and everyone knows where that is. And my last tip is to label everything. Label everything, because then it gives that spot a name. Like, you know where all the scissors go, you know where all the glue goes, you know where, you know, the markers, the pencils, whatever it is. It is a game changer. And I really wanted like these big labels that you could see very boldly whatever was in that container. And so I went online and I found what I wanted, but it was like $70. And I'm like, I am not going to spend $70 on a label maker. Like, no, that is just not gonna happen. So I had all this paper. It's like sticky paper. So it's pretty much paper that you can get at any, you know, office store or whatever. And pretty much I just got this, and I had this because I have an Etsy shop and I used to sell products out. I don't anymore. It's all like PDFs, but I used to, so I have a bunch of the papers, so I'm like, I'm gonna use that. So I use this huge font that I absolutely love. I'll write the font here because I don't know. I want to say it's like felt marker or something, but I love it. It is very clear. You can see everything so well. And so I'll put a couple of them on here, and then I'll print it out and I'll just cut it out, and I will stick it on whatever container I want to put it on. So that has saved me so much money, and it gives the same look, if not better. But label everything. I cannot tell you, now the kids know where everything goes. I know where everything goes. There's just been a great piece about knowing where everything goes. So I hope that that helped you. I'm gonna show you now really quickly how I organize a space in my office. So I'm gonna use these bins and the labels. I'll show you how I do it all because it's actually kind of messy. So I've been waiting to do this with you guys. So I hope that this kind of gives you a more visual of how to do this step by step. Okay, so I have this hutch right here, and I got it from IKEA because people always ask me, where did you get that? IKEA years ago. But anyway, as you can see, it's kind of just all in disarray, to be honest. Like, this is where all the kids, like, kind of their learning stuff goes, and just books. And I have so many planners because I am obsessed with planners. I have a problem. But anyway, so I'm gonna organize those, just kind of get rid of all the things that I don't use anymore, planners that are old, all of that. These containers, so these are different size containers up here. And so I'm going to trade these out and kind of go through them, get rid of all the things that don't belong in there anymore or I don't use. I'm gonna put these probably down here and just make this more cohesive and easy. So this is the stuff that I don't really want the kids into. This is all my like YouTube stuff, that little things that I need here and there for things. So I'm gonna go through that, and then I'll kind of show you these bins. As you can see, they are different sizes, and for some reason that really irritates me. I don't know if you can see that, but so I have 3 bins this size, so I'm gonna just put them here and label them, and that's what I will do. That's how easy it is.
We can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look.
Okay, and so this is what they all look like. Clearly I have enough tape to last me a lifetime. And then all the other, this is just, I put random office supplies, and then actually all down here are my scissors. And then all my writing things should go here. And so those are my 3 bins, and so I'll just put them all together and then I'll label them. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I put them all down here. They look really nice, the same. I'm gonna put labels on each one of them. Over here, these are actually thank you cards, so I have them very easy to access to write thank you notes to people. And then down here, I'm just gonna go through and see all the ones that I still use or will use. And I'm just gonna get rid of all the ones I don't use and put them all going up and down. So, and then I'm done. Everything else is kind of all, this is my husband's stuff up here, so I'm just gonna let that stay there for him. But otherwise, that's pretty much how I do it.
On the road with a couple of tunes in a car for 2. Hey, darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time. Driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright. Pack our bags and get in that car.
Okay, so that wasn't too bad. Over here I have all my YouTube stuff. This is all like the learning things for the kids. And then over here is my husband's things. And so it's so nice. Now it's not like overcrowded the way it was before. There were a lot of notebooks that are kind of full, and I'm gonna go through those. So I might have to put some things over here, but for the most part, I think most of it's going away. So just decluttering, getting rid of things are so nice.
Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you?
All right, so that's it. Super easy. Like I said, I just have like the sticky paper, and I use the felt marker, it's called. And I just made it pretty big, and I put it on paper first to see if that's the size I wanted, and then you just stick them right on, and it's super easy, saves tons of money, and now my house is completely organized. I'm so thankful. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope this video was helpful, and until next time, I will see you all later. God bless. Bye.